it says my connection's weak, but I think that I did it. Hi everybody. I'm not tech savvy. No one here is tech savvy. It says you're live. We're building an audience for you. Okay. So maybe we should put a sign on the door saying recording live. Please don't come in. Okay. Oh, hey, it says this is my most watched live video yet because it's, I think, my only watched live video. Okay, it's working. Okay, let's see. I see there's questions here. Hi. Oh, 500 people are watching. Okay, this will not be 30 minutes of me just being amazed that technology works. Hi, everybody. It's also my most commented live video. So it says, again, it's my only commented on video. Okay. Wow, people from all over the country. Tony Steele says, hi, Blossom. Hi, Tony. This is really cool. I am here at work. This is my dressing room. I'm afraid to move anything or do anything because it'll knock things over. I'm at work. This is my lunch break. I work on The Big Bang Theory. And let's see. Originally, we're going to post a video today about veganism, and it's a very good video, and I think that everyone will enjoy seeing it. But with everything that happened this week and just kind of with the climate of the country, it just felt kind of weird to post that, and I guess with the climate of the world. So we thought we would do this instead and just kind of have an open opportunity to say hello. Someone just posted, it went away. I guess I'll start with that question about someone's father who passed away, and does grief get easier? The answer is, in my experience, it changes. I don't know if I would say that it gets easier. I've written a lot about it for Grok Nation, which is the website that I started over a year ago. I've written a lot about the way grief surprises you and keeps changing. In some ways it's easier. It's less intrusive. That's been my experience. It is early for Shabbat Shalom, Stephen, but yes. How does it feel to be the only real doctor on the show? I'm trying to get comments to come up on a computer also, but it doesn't seem like it works, so I'll just read them from here. How does it feel? I don't know. It feels like being an employed actor on a TV show. I don't really think that much about my doctorate. There's a lot of things about all of us that sometimes come into play, and some making fun videos, and I hope that you will subscribe so that we can make more. Okay, my feed stopped. So people are saying they lost the video. Okay, well, there's lots of hearts going on the bottom. That looks good. How do I plan to bring my principles as a practicing Jew into play in response to this election? That's a good question. It looks like the feed is weak, and that's just because the signal at Big Bang Theory is kind of weak. But I hope that people are able to hear me and hopefully see most of me. I think that for me, really politics aside and partisanship aside, the values that I hold dear from the religious faith that I was raised in are those of tolerance and respect, and fighting for the rights of the underprivileged and people who many other people forget about. So loving one's neighbor as oneself is a very strong ethic for me in my religious and cultural tradition, and it really guides a lot of my politics. But I do want to say, and kind of glad to take this opportunity to do so, I don't know that necessarily means that one should identify as one particular or another religious person. I've gotten a lot of criticism for being a Jewish Democrat, and I know that Republican Jews a lot of criticism as well. I don't know that there's one way to do this, but I always try and err on the side of compassion and helping those less fortunate. That's something that my parents, who were civil rights activists, fought for and raised me to fight for as well. The feed looks really bad. I'm just going to apologize. Maybe doing Facebook Live from the Big Bang Theory dressing room is not a good idea in general. Do I speak German? I actually don't speak German. Jewish people who have family from Germany might speak German. I was actually raised speaking Yiddish, and Yiddish is a combination of German and Hebrew, and it's one of over 20 dialects that Jewish people have created that is written in the alphabet of the country that they live in. So Hebrew alphabet is used for Yiddish, but it's German grammar and a lot of German words, and that's what I was raised speaking, and also Hebrew as well. What do I think we can do to encourage our government to protect the environment, which you feel is compromised? Yeah, funding for environmental organizations, the president-elect has absolutely said are going to be threatened by his administration. And that's of great concern to me. It should be of great concern to everyone, whether you're Democrat or Republican or independent and obviously green. You know, I've learned a lot and have come to believe that there's a great amount of support from the EPA and from organizations that place the good of our environment globally as a priority. It is a fact that there are changes to this planet that we are responsible for. We actually talk a little bit about that in the vegan video that we didn't post today, because there is a tremendous environmental impact of storing the animals that we eat. So I don't know. I think a lot of things with this election are going to kind of unfold, and we're going to learn more as the days and weeks go on to see exactly which part of, you know, Trump's campaigning will be carried through for his presidency. But the environment is a very significant issue for us and for our children and our grandchildren. What kind of impact do I think the president-elect will have on the rest of the world? Well, we're already seeing that there are some countries that are very pleased, and we're seeing that there are some countries that are being very diplomatic. Some of the farther left Western European countries have been a little more explicit about their concerns, and for good reason. And, you know, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what happens with Mexico, and the kind of language that was used during the campaign by the president-elect was very disturbing to me, just going to say that, in terms of what impact it might have on nuclear weapons and those kinds of things. And again, some people believe strongly in having everyone have as many nuclear weapons as possible. I happen to not be one of those people. Sorry, still looking. Are you or have you written an autobiography? No, I guess I don't feel like I'm old enough yet. There's a lot about my life that I think might be interesting and or helpful. I wrote a book for girls. The target age is 12 to 18. Boys can read it too. But it's about growing up female, and it has a lot of my personal experience, including my first kiss, my first crush, my first boyfriend, many of my first failures at being a productive female in the dating arena. But the book is primarily about my experience as a scientist, going through life and learning to both be strong and empowered and hopefully spectacular. There is something, let's see, sorry. Yes, people in Mexico do have fear about the next president. I saw that. Hello, everybody in Israel. Wow, people from Finland. Hashtag Blossom. Thank you, Rick. A lot of really nice compliments. I don't want to not... Hillary Clinton wants to abort babies late term, doesn't bother you. I don't think that's really an accurate statement, Lisa. So I'm just going to skip that one. Hello from Portugal. This is amazing. A lot of political questions. I don't really want to try and talk about who's better for Israel and who's better for the Jews. That was a funny question. My best advice for what to tell children about the elections is whatever's consistent with your philosophy. You know, what I told my children was that I told my children that I was raised to believe that people who don't have a voice need to be spoken for. and I told them that I will continue as their mother and as a citizen of this country to fight for that. I reminded them that my grandparents were immigrants who worked in sweatshops and really didn't have a tremendous command of English, and the thought that there might be a challenge to all of the immigrant families in this country really worries me, and I told my children that. I also talked with my children a lot about the civil rights movement and what that meant for my parents, who participated in sit-ins and protests for African American students to be allowed into the New York public school system. And I spoke to them specifically about the struggles that that Black people have had in this country since they came here, and that we can take inspiration from their leadership and their resilience and their faith, that we can figure this out, because we have to figure it out. A lot of really angry people who believe that they know that Trump is better for Israel. You're allowed that opinion. Interesting. I'm afraid my 8 and 10-year-olds will catch my fear. I think what's important, at least the way that we've done it in our house, is to be honest with children. Children can tell when you're hiding something, and they can tell when you're not being honest, even if they can't put their finger on it. So I think it's important. I cried when I talked to my children about the results of the election. And to be quite honest, when a church was burned in Mississippi last week, and Vote Trump was spray painted on that church, I cried, and I showed children that picture, and I said, not all Trump supporters support this, absolutely not, but someone thought that this was a way to show their support for this man. So I think it's okay for children to see our fear, just like it's okay for them to see our excitement or triumph. And I hope that there will be many things to celebrate for all of us in the years ahead. Someone was trying to give me advice about making things go slower, but it went so fast that I couldn't see it. Thank you. Oh, we took linguistics together at UCLA. That was a great class. Hello. Okay, people thinking that Hillary Clinton is behind everything that people think are bad. Hi, Chad. The Electoral College. Yeah, someone just posted a tweet by Donald Trump from 2012 saying that the Electoral College was the single stupidest thing that exists. So there you have it. I actually didn't realize that Clinton did win the popular vote. I think that people have been talking about revising the Electoral College for a long time. And, I've seen a lot of really, really ugly things on my social media and on social media in general about, what crybabies liberals are. And this is just how the American system works. When people are happy, they celebrate. And when they're not, they protest. It's American. The War of Independence was the greatest protest in the history of this country so far, at least for the, at least for the first part of it. Yes, mutual respect and the concept of entitlement. It's very, very important. And I am concerned about children hearing horrible things. I'm very, very careful. And I think that's something that I hope other people are careful about too when we speak to children. I try not to use hyperbole. I don't refer to Trump as Hitler, which I know a lot of people are kind of throwing that around. So I think it's important to really keep it right-sized and raise them with a reverence and respect for a system that is problematic and may feel broken, but it really only feels that way for half of us. You're welcome. Says, thank you for being a positive role model. I appreciate that. Gosh, these are really going fast. I'll have to speak to our social media person about helping me. The efforts to have California secede, I think we're all going to be pretty much glued together. That's a lot of Hebrew, which I definitely can't read that quickly. Hello from Ontario, Canada. Can you imagine these next 4 years? I can't. I really can't, but it's going to unfold just one day at a time, which is how the universe gives us time. Do I think he will try to ban people in Russia who are LGBTQQ? I think that for people of color and for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning individuals, I think think it's going to feel very uncomfortable. I think it's going to feel very uncomfortable for some time. I don't know if Obama being there for another 4 years is the answer. Um, oh, thank you. Try to see things in a rational, analytical way, but everyone I do that's not at all who I am. What happened to this big painting of me and Penny? John, it's in this week's episode. That's really funny. I won't say more, but there is an episode about that painting. That's really, really funny that you just asked. Move to the UK. It would be a little bit difficult with my job to move to the UK. We are what makes this country great. That's true. All of us. But all of us together. Am I watching UFC this weekend? I don't think I'm going to be watching UFC this weekend. My kids are a little too young to watch UFC, but I did have many years when I enjoyed watching UFC. I think that was before maybe it was super duper 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 bloody. I actually studied jiu-jitsu. I took jiu-jitsu classes for a couple years at UCLA, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So I, in particular, loved watching the Gracie brothers fight and seeing some of the less brutal styles of fighting, which are very fascinating for me. You don't agree with me politically, but you respect me for putting myself out there. That's nice. I am absolutely giving him a chance. There are so many things about what Trump said as a candidate that are so antithetical to my belief system. It's very, very difficult to be all gung-ho about it. I take the rights to my body very, very seriously, and I take rights for gay and lesbian friends very seriously. I take the rights of the family seriously. In this country, and the desires of women to not be judged by how our availability pleases men. So those things are problematic for me. Can we make this a weekly regular thing? I think we're probably going to try and do more of this. I'm really trying to learn how to be more tech savvy, and honestly, the YouTube videos that we're doing is really an attempt for you to get to hear more of me in my own voice and also start conversations. A video that I did called "You're So Emotional," I think that's what I called it, got so much positive response and just fascinating responses from people, and it reminds me and all of us kind of why we do what we do. We want to touch people with interesting and intelligent content. There's a lot of sites that will give you entertainment and lighter posts regularly. Grok Nation is not that, but we're trying. We're trying. Someone says I'm a pretty kick-ass human. Thank you. I should make a t-shirt. Okay, hold on. It's too fast. Someone said, what kind of things do you say to your sons on a daily basis so they become amazing, respectful men? Unlike the Cheeto we just elected. Sorry, that's not nice. What are the kind of things I tell them? I tell them that they're loved and they're special and they have great potential and that their heart and their brain are the most valuable parts of them. I would tell daughters that as well. Obviously, the emphasis raising girls is, I think, a lot more challenging. But I talk to my boys all the time about difficult things that go on in our country and in our community and in the world. And we brainstorm age-appropriate ways to talk about solving them. I think that's important. What info about Sheldon and Amy? Shoot, people wanted to know something, and I don't know what it was. I'm just going to guess that people wanted to know, like, what's going to happen with Amy and Sheldon? Are they going to make a baby too? I don't know. I actually don't know what happens except week to week on our show. So we get the scripts the night before we start rehearsing them, and we film once a week. So I only know what we're doing right now. And I revealed that the painting of Amy and Penny is in this week's episode, and that's all I'll tell you. But obviously Bernadette can't stay pregnant forever, so everybody knows that's going to happen. Wow, no, I don't support someone that murders our military. Really, people? Come on. Really? Why would you say that? It's like, it doesn't even make sense. Okay. Hi, everybody in the UK. That's nice. I've grown into thank you. An amazing role model. I appreciate that. Someone said I should run for president. I don't think anybody needs that. Someone says that my book, Beyond the Sling, gave her confidence to trust her instincts about parenting her daughter. That makes me really happy. Are there any, it says or show, I think you mean pre-show rituals, because there are no or show rituals. We don't bring out minerals and, things like that. We do have some pre-show rituals. We have a huddle before every taping, and we do a speed through of the entire episode in our hair and makeup room, where we basically just go through all the scenes in order, kind of as fast as we can, with not super high performance level. It's just to kind of get the words out. Many times it seems like we may not have a good taping based on how many times we mess up during that speed through. But yeah, I think that and our huddle are our kind of pre-show rituals, and other people have their own personal rituals. I think Simon once joked that he does like nude yoga in his room, but I've never knocked to see if that's happening. Hello from Saskatoon. Very nice. People are saying very nice things, except for people saying that I support murdering the military, which is totally not true. Thank you, Stephanie. Very, very nice. Do I really have a live audience? Yes, we don't have a laugh track. We do. We film in front of a live audience every week. There are certain scenes that we film that we pre-tape. There's some people here for that, but then they play it back to the live audience to record their laughs. A lot of times people think that we have a laugh track because sometimes the laughs sound like they're cut off, and sometimes it's that the laughs go longer than they can for us to get all of the information that we're trying to communicate into, I think, 21 minutes. Someone said something about people being hypocritical about animal rights. I missed that. I'm sorry. Because these are coming really fast. How do I feel about people who spread false or inconclusive rumors about the future of Big Bang Theory? I think it's really crummy buttons, because that's right. It's crummy buttons because we don't have more information about the future of Big Bang Theory yet. And that's as much as I know, is that we don't know what's going to happen. All of our contracts end this year. That's just true. And beyond that, there's a lot of business stuff that has to go on. I think everyone on our cast has said, we have nowhere else we'd rather be than doing this show. So I have nowhere else to be. I'll just be doing Facebook Live and perfecting it, because obviously there's a lot to learn. Okay, so what just happened is that things stopped coming in. So it just stopped. Maybe everybody's done with me and no one is interested anymore. So I'm going to switch to looking at questions on the computer, which seems to be working-ish. Am I friends with Bette Midler? So I was in a movie with Bette Midler when I was 12 years old. It came out when I was 13. We didn't stay friends. I mean, I was a child and she was a grown-up, but I was on some talk show, I can't remember what it was, and she recorded a congratulations for everything going on in my life in a video. Oh, hey, things are back. So there we go. I can't speak about people who love animals and eat them. I mean, I can't speak about people specifically, but what I will say is that for me, I've made the choice to be a vegan person who shows that I love animals by not eating them. But there are a lot of different ways that people use their voice and use their love for animals to try and make positive impact in the world. And I will also say that while I believe that the environment, our health, our economy benefit from people adopting more of a vegan lifestyle, any change is good change, and even people who start cutting things out bit by bit, are making a difference in their perspective and in their ability to try and be open-minded. The notion of Meatless Mondays is significant and important. There are even schools that are starting to adopt Meatless Mondays. I did write, I wrote a book called Mayim's Vegan Table, which is a cookbook of the vegan recipes I most make for people who are not vegan. And it does also have nutritional information and things like that. And yeah, so I'll kind of leave it there. Hope that's okay. Oh, that's interesting. A question, another animal-related question. Yeah, sometimes our show and other shows do make light of animal suffering. That's absolutely something I see. It's unfortunate, and I think I try and strike a good balance between being a happily employed actor and being an advocate in my personal life for what I believe in and the way I believe it. So I hope that's good. Your show keeps me happy when I'm sad. That's really nice. We hear that a lot, and actually we talk about that a lot. If we're having rough times, because we all have personal lives and things that happen, we do often remind ourselves that our job is to be entertaining, and many people, it touches us very deeply that many people are deeply affected by our show for its ability to make people laugh. I don't happen to watch TV shows, just because it's not where I get my entertainment, but I was thinking of how happy I am to watch sports. That's something that I really enjoy, and if you get that feeling that I feel when I watch sports from watching our show, that does really touch us, and it is something we reflect on a lot. Hi, Orly. Okay. Greetings from Colombia. Wow, we've had people from all over. I'm sure my social media lady will say these are countries that showed up, but it's pretty cool to see people from all over the world, all of us together right here. Hello from Mississippi. Can I say a small hi to people in India? Yeah, wow. Hello to everybody in India. Halifax, Nova Scotia. I have a friend from there. We're almost done. Do I know that the first night of Hanukkah is on Christmas Eve? Yes, I do know that, and I didn't grow up in a house that made Hanukkah a gift-giving holiday the way Christmas is. I just realized my shirt is kind of low, and now I feel uncomfortable for the past 27 minutes. It's been like that. Yeah, for me, it's not so much of a conflict because I celebrate Hanukkah. I don't celebrate Christmas, but for many families, it's going to be a very big holiday season. Speaking of sports, are you a part of roller derby? No. But the day is young, you know. People saying our show is calming for them and enjoyable. People saying their kids are on the spectrum and they really like that. Madison, Wisconsin loves me. I love Madison, Wisconsin. Can I recommend books for kids that teach culture appreciation? I've been wanting to write a post about special books that I think are important. You know, my kids like fun books, but we read a lot of heavier children's books. I'm sure you're not surprised. People like the Tiara episode. Thank you. Really nice. I say a lot. Orly's on the ground because she's excited. Oh, that's an interesting question. Maybe we'll end with this one. Someone asked if we have different camera people because sometimes angles or cutaways or close-ups look different. The answer is no, but what you may be noticing is that we typically have one director for our show. His name is Mark Sandrowski, and he's wonderful. I think the first year Jim Parsons won an Emmy, he thanked Mark. He's terrific. He's really, really relaxed. It's a very mellow set, and just, I don't know, our whole crew is just really great with him. Just everybody's happy. But sometimes we do have guest directors, and you may be noticing that things look different. Maybe 4 times a season we have guest directors. We've had Anthony Rich, who is our first assistant director, direct a handful of episodes. And Nikki Laurie, who's usually our second AD, she directed her first episode, which is very, very exciting. So that might be what you're picking up on. It's 1:29. Oh, Marta, what's with holiday season? Not everybody celebrates Christmas or Hanukkah? That's why I call it the holiday season. And to me, the holiday season means kind of like the whole time when it's like wintry and it may not be like a holiday per se. I don't hate Christmas. I don't hate Hanukkah. It's a minor holiday for the Jews. But yeah, there you go. I should give Carlos Sanchez a shout out on the show. Well, Carlos, here's your shout out right now. Okay, I'll answer this last question and then we'll be done. And there's so many questions I want to answer. We definitely need to do this again. Someone asked if I could get a PhD in anything besides neuroscience, what would it be? Honestly, I don't know. I studied Hebrew and Jewish studies as my minor. I loved that very much. And I loved a really strange thing. I loved grammar. I took a healthy year of Hebrew grammar, and that means not just speaking and reading and writing a language, but understanding the structure of it, how it came about. The origins of the alphabet are really fascinating to me, so if I wasn't a big enough nerd already, now you have more reason to think that I'm a total nerd. Okay, shout out to the people in Chicago. I love Chicago, of course. Maybe we'll just do a whole Facebook Live where I give shout outs to people like Carlos Sanchez, Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, the entire country of India. Okay, there's a lot of good questions. We'll do this again. Thank you, everybody. And maybe to show how appreciative you are, you should go subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be really appreciated. Thank you, everybody. I know it's a hard week, and the internet's really weird, and I'm just a celebrity. I'm just another person trying to make sense of everything in my life and in our country and in this world. And it's unbelievable, practically, that this works. And also just, we make the world smaller this way, hopefully in good ways. So be kind to people, I guess. That's what we should all do right now. Be kind to people and have as much of an open mind as you can muster. Okay. Take care. I don't even know how to shut this thing off. My assistant Todd's going to show me. I think I pressed finish. Bye, everybody.